Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him and he's being dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. 9.58. The world record's gone.
A man runs 100 meters in 9.58 seconds. That's faster than a car driving through your neighborhood. For over 15 years, nobody has come close to this time. But 60 years ago, the world's fastest men were running almost half a second slower. What changed? And how close are we to reaching the absolute limit of human speed? Let's start at the beginning. The first official 100-meter world record happened in 1912. An American runner named Donald Lippincott ran it in 10.6 seconds. For the next 50 years, people used stopwatches to time these races. They only measured to 1/10 of a second, not the tiny hundredths we use today. This changed in 1977 when automatic timing became the rule. Suddenly, we could see exactly how fast these men were running. But here's something amazing. In 1936, Jesse Owens set a world record of 10.2 seconds. Nobody beat that time for 20 full years. 20 years! Today, high school kids run faster than that. Owens also did something incredible in 1935 at a college meet in Michigan. In just 45 minutes, he set world records in 4 different events. People still call it the greatest 45 minutes in sports history. Now let's jump to the 1960s. This is where our story really begins. In 1960, a German runner named Armin Harry became the first person to run exactly 10.0 seconds. Not 10.1, not 10.2, just 10.0. Everyone wondered the same thing. Could someone break through the 10-second barrier?
Diesmal schoss der Starter so rasch, dass Harry optimal aus den Blöcken kam. 2x 10,0 und 1x 10,1 zeigten die Uhren und machten damit Armin Harry offiziell zum schnellsten Mann der Welt.
The answer came in 1968. Jim Hines from the United States ran 9.9 seconds in June. Then at the Mexico City Olympics that same year, he ran 9.95 seconds with automatic timing. He was the first man ever to officially break 10 seconds. Think about that. For over 50 years, nobody could do it. Then Hines did it. His record lasted 14 years, 8 months, and 19 days. That's the longest any 100-meter record has stood since automatic timing began. The 1970s didn't see huge improvements. Time stayed around 9.9 seconds. The tracks were getting better. Athletes were training harder, but the times only dropped a little bit. The human body seemed to have limits, or so everyone thought. Then came the 1980s and 1990s. Things started changing fast. Better running tracks, better shoes. Athletes who trained full-time instead of having regular jobs. In 1988 at the Seoul Olympics, Carl Lewis ran 9.92 seconds. Carl Lewis was incredible. He won Olympic gold medals in both 1984 and 1988. Over his career, he won 9 Olympic gold medals total. When people talk about the greatest sprinters ever, his name always comes up. But 1988 also had a problem. A Canadian runner named Ben Johnson ran 9.83 seconds and won the gold medal. Then the world found out he was using banned drugs. His time was erased. His medal was taken away. It was one of the biggest scandals in Olympic history.
And it's a fair start. And it is Raymond Kerr with a start. It is Ben Johnson with a start. Can Kerr catch him? No! It's Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson does it again. Unbelievable. 9.79.
Absolutely incredible.
Lewis, who finished second, was given the gold medal instead. His 9.92 became both the Olympic record and the new world record. The 1990s brought more improvements. In 1991, Carl Lewis ran 9.86 seconds in Tokyo. He was the first person to officially break 9.9 seconds.
Away first time, and flying at the moment is Dennis Mitchell. Also coming through is Leroy Burrell, and it's going to be very close. Burrell wins it. Very close, it's very close. New world record, 9.86.
8 years later, Maurice Green from the United States ran 9.78 seconds in Athens, Greece. Finally, someone broke the 9.8 barrier. Green was fast, really fast, and he held that record until something extraordinary happened. The year was 2005. Jamaica, a small island in the Caribbean, started producing the fastest men on Earth. First came Asafa Powell. He set 4 world records between 2005 and 2008. His best time was 9.72 seconds. But Powell was just warming up the track for someone else. In May 2008, a tall 21-year-old named Usain Bolt ran 9.72 seconds. 2 months later at the Beijing Olympics, he ran 9.69 seconds. He won the gold medal. But even that wasn't his best. After the race, Bolt said something that seemed impossible. He said, "I was definitely ready for the world record and I did it. I didn't think I could run a 1/10 of a second faster than my world record, but for me, anything is possible." 1 year later in Berlin, Bolt proved he was right. On August 16, 2009, he ran the 100 meters in 9.58 seconds. He cut 0.11 seconds off his own record. That's the biggest improvement to the 100-meter record in history. Most records get beaten by 0.01 or 0.02 seconds. Bolt smashed his by 0.11. At his fastest point in the race, he was running 44.72 kilometers per hour. That's almost 28 miles per hour. The crazy part is that the guy who came in second, Tyson Gay from the United States, ran 9.71 seconds. That was an American record. Before that day, it would have been a world record, but Gay was nowhere near Bolt when they crossed the finish line. After the race, Gay said, "I'm disappointed to have lost the race, but I ran my fastest time." Even running the race of his life wasn't enough. Asafa Powell, the former world record holder, came in third with 9.84 seconds. He was happy just to be part of history. He said, "I'm so excited about Usain's run tonight. It is great to be part of this. Usain showed us that it is possible." Only 2 other men have ever run 9.69 seconds or faster besides Bolt. Tyson Gay did it in 2009. Johan Blake from Jamaica did it in 2012. Blake is the second fastest human in history. At the 2012 London Olympics, Bolt ran 9.63 seconds. That's still the Olympic record today. Bolt also won gold at the 2016 Rio Olympics. He's the only person ever to win the 100 meters at 3 straight Olympics. Now let's talk about the 2020s. It's been over 15 years since Bolt set his 9.58 record. Nobody has come close. In 2022, Johan Blake won the Jamaican Championships with a time of 9.85 seconds. He was 32 years old. It was his fastest time in almost 10 years. Blake dedicated the win to his father, who had just had a stroke. Blake said, "I just came out here to do this for him because I've been in disarray all week and just kept strong to win." Today, many sprinters run between 9.7 and 9.9 seconds. Breaking 10 seconds used to be impossible. Now it's common for the best athletes. But nobody can touch 9.58. Why? Several things changed over the decades. First, the tracks got better. Old tracks were made of cinder, which is basically crushed rock. Modern tracks are made of special rubber that gives runners more bounce. Second, the shoes got lighter and better. Today's running spikes help athletes push off the ground with more force. Third, training became more scientific. Athletes now use special diets, study their running form with computers, and train in ways that people in the 1960s never imagined. But here's the thing. Scientists have studied human limits. They think the absolute fastest a human could ever run 100 meters is around 9.49 seconds. That's only 0.09 seconds faster than Bolt's record. We might be getting close to the human limit. Each improvement now is tiny. Going from 10.0 seconds to 9.9 took many years. Going from 9.58 to 9.57 might take many more. The future might not be about one superfast person. It might be about many athletes all running around 9.7 seconds. More countries are producing top sprinters now. It's not just the United States and Jamaica anymore. Athletes from Trinidad, Canada, Italy, and other nations are running incredibly fast times. Looking at the full picture, the 100-meter sprint has dropped from about 10.0 seconds in the 1960s to 9.58 seconds today. That's almost half a second in 60 years. Early on, times dropped quickly. Now, improvements happen slowly. We might never see another jump like Bolt's 0.11 second improvement. Records might only break by 0.01 or 0.02 seconds from now on. Here's what we know for sure. From Tom Burke running 12 seconds in 1896 to Usain Bolt running 9.58 in 2009, humans have gotten 2.42 seconds faster. Better food, better training, better tracks, better shoes. All of it added up. But the next big breakthrough? Nobody knows when it's coming, or who will do it. Will it be someone training right now, or someone who hasn't even started running yet? The clock is always ticking, and somewhere in the world, the next fastest man is getting ready to race.
Blöcken, jetzt kommt er! Und jetzt ist Usain Bolt nicht zu halten! Nein, er gewinnt!
16 years, that's how long Usain Bolt's world records have been standing, and he just said he's not worried about anyone breaking them anytime soon. In September 2025, Bolt showed up at a big Puma event in Tokyo. This was actually his first time going to a World Championships since he stopped running back in 2017. And when people asked him about his records, he didn't hold back. "I'm not worried," he said with that famous Bolt confidence. "People are trying to get faster, and someday it will happen, just not now." Let's talk about these records for a second. Back in 2009 at the World Championships in Berlin, Bolt ran the 100 meters in 9.58 seconds. Then he ran the 200 meters in 19.19 seconds.
Great man, Usain Bolt charging down the straight as best they can. The other men are trying to follow him. Mullings and Spearman. Spearman finishing fast. Bolt wins. Bolt wins. And Bolt.
These times are so fast that nobody has even come close since then. Only one other runner, Johan Blake, has ever broken 9.7 in the 100 meters. That was back in 2012 when he ran 9.69. In the 200 meters, Blake is still the only other person to run faster than 19.3 seconds.
Tyson Gay got away well, so did Johan Blake. Blake's going away from this field at the moment. Following him is Tyson Gay, and Blake storming away, gets it. Gay in second place, and in third place, Lester Carter.
Think about how crazy this is. Jim Hines set a world record way back in 1968 with a time of 9.95. That record lasted 14 years before someone broke it. But Bolt's record has been standing for 16 years now, and it doesn't look like it's going anywhere. Now here's something really interesting. Today's runners have better shoes than Bolt ever had. They're called Super Spikes, and they have carbon plates in them that help runners go faster. Puma actually did some research and figured out that if Bolt had worn these new shoes back in Berlin, he would have run 9.42 seconds. That's even faster than his world record. Bolt totally agrees with this. He said, "I fully agree." He talked about another Jamaican runner named Shelly Ann Fraser Price, who kept running after he retired. "She got faster with the spikes," Bolt explained. "I probably would have run way faster if I'd continued and if I knew that spikes would have got to that level." But even with all this new technology, Bolt still doesn't think the current runners can break his records. So let's look at who's actually trying to chase down these times. First up is Noah Lyles from the United States. He's the only runner who's bold enough to actually say he wants to break Bolt's records. Back in 2023, Lyles said he was thinking about running 9.65 in the 100 meters and 19.10 in the 200 meters. He said, "I have a good reason to believe I'm going to do something I've never done before." That same year, he won both races at the World Championships, just like Bolt used to do. But here's the thing. His best time in the 200 meters is still 19.31. That's really fast. In fact, it broke Michael Johnson's American record that had stood since 1996. But it's still not close to Bolt's 19.19. This year hasn't been perfect for Lyles either. He got beaten by two Jamaican runners in August. But he did win the U.S. Championships in the 200 meters. And at that race, something crazy happened. After Lyles won, Kenny Bednarek actually pushed him at the finish line. The two Americans had some real tension there. Speaking of tension, Lyles also said something earlier this year that got people talking. He claimed he had Kashane Thompson in his pocket. Thompson is one of those Jamaican runners who beat Lyles. Bolt was asked about this trash talk, and he didn't seem too bothered. "I don't think Noah is as crazy as dealing with Justin Gatlin," Bolt said. Gatlin was another runner Bolt used to race against, and those two really went back and forth. "I never listen to anybody." Bolt added, "I know when I'm preparing and I'm ready, you can say whatever you want. You're not going to beat me." Now let's talk about Usain Thompson. This 22-year-old Jamaican might actually be the fastest person in the world right now. In June, he ran 9.75 at the Jamaican Championships. That was the fastest time anyone had run in 10 whole years. It makes him the 6th fastest person in history. Thompson is tall too, standing at 6 feet 1 inch. He looks like those classic Jamaican sprinters. At the Paris Olympics in 2024, Thompson almost won gold. He came so incredibly close to beating Noah Lyles in the 100-meter final. We're talking about 5/10,000ths of a second. That's basically nothing. But Lyles got him right at the line. Bolt is really excited about Thompson. "I think we have a very good chance this year," he said. Usain and Oblique have shown they're in top form. They should be 1-2 if they execute. Bolt is clearly rooting for his fellow Jamaicans. He even said he'd love to present the gold medals to them, but maybe not if Lyles is standing on top of the podium. Oblique Seville is another Jamaican runner, and Bolt thinks he could be really special. Seville is only about 5 feet 7 inches tall, so he's much shorter than Thompson or Bolt. But don't let that fool you. This year, Seville beat Noah Lyles twice in big races. He won in Poland and in London. At the Jamaican Championships, he only lost to Thompson by 0.08 of a second. But Seville has one big problem: injuries. At the Paris Olympics, he looked amazing in the semifinals. He actually beat Lyles in that race. But then in the final, he had a groin injury and finished dead last in 8th place. Bolt talked about this earlier in 2025. "Oblique can do it," Bolt said. "If he can stay fit through the season and get it right, he can do it because I'm sure there's something there." But then Bolt added something concerning. "Some of the time, Oblique is kind of fragile." Seville trains with Glenn Mills, who was actually Bolt's coach, so he's learning from the best. The coach believes in him. Bolt said, "It's up to the athlete now to put it all together." There's also Kenny Bednarek, the American who pushed Lyles. Bednarek is having the best year of his career. He ran 9.79 at the U.S. Championships, which is his personal best. He's 26 years old, and definitely getting faster. But people say that until he beats the top guys like Lyles, Thompson, or Seville at a World Championship or Olympics, he hasn't really proven himself yet. Now here comes the really exciting part. There's a 17-year-old kid from Australia named Gout Gout. Yes, that's really his name. And people are already comparing him to Bolt. Why? Well, he's 6 feet tall with an upright running style, just like Bolt had. And his times as a junior are actually slightly faster than what Bolt was running at the same age. Australian media is going crazy about this kid. They're already saying he'll win gold at the 2032 Olympics in Brisbane, but Bolt is telling everyone to slow down. "It's always easy when you're younger," Bolt explained. "The transition to seniors is tougher. It's about the right coach, the right people around you. Focus. All those factors decide if he'll be great." Bolt knows what he's talking about here. Even though he was fast as a teenager, he didn't really become the greatest until he was 22 years old. That's when he broke the world record and won at the Beijing Olympics in 2008. But Bolt does like seeing young talent. "He's very talented," Bolt said about Gout. "The more athletes do well, the bigger the sport gets." So is Bolt right? Will nobody break his records anytime soon? Let's look at the facts. It's been 16 years. Only one person has come remotely close in either event. The current top runners are really good, but they're not showing the kind of speed needed to get close to 9.58 or 19.19. Thompson's 9.75 is impressive, but that's still 0.17 seconds slower than Bolt. In sprinting, that's a huge gap. Bolt himself admits the records will fall eventually. "Everything evolves in life," he said. "People trying to get better, trying to get faster. It's not going to be a surprise if it actually happens. But the key words there are eventually and someday. Not now. Not with this current group of runners."
I knew I had something within me. I think running so fast, so young, and running faster than any of these girls have run at age 17, I knew.
The gun fired, and in lane 6, Amy Hunt took off. 2 lanes away stood Sharika Jackson, a 3-time world champion. On her other side, Gabby Thomas, the Olympic gold medalist. But over the next 22 seconds, something happened that left 68,000 fans frozen, and the world wondering if they just witnessed the birth of a new sprint queen.
I knew I was too talented for it to go to waste. I had a fire, I had a light inside of me that just said, like, it's worth it, keep going.
Amy Hunt won silver in the 200 meters at the 2025 World Athletics Championships in Tokyo. She clocked 22.01 seconds to finish second behind Melissa Jefferson Wooden of the United States, who won gold in 21.78 seconds. Hunt defeated Sharika Jackson of Jamaica, who placed third in 22.14 seconds, and Gabby Thomas of the United States, who finished fourth in 22.18 seconds. The result marked Hunt's first global championship medal at age 22. She became the youngest British woman to win a World Championships 200-meter medal in the event's history. The performance represented a breakthrough for the sprinter, who had shown promise but never delivered on the biggest stages until Tokyo. Hunt ran a season's best time in the final. Her previous fastest 200 meters in 2025 came in the semifinals when she clocked 22.18 seconds to advance.